O'Leary. 6 skaters on for the Saints. So the empty net, the Storm backhands it up the wall into the red line. So another clear. There's 1:50 left. The Storm has it at center ice. Duhaime shoots it. Empty net score! It's 4-1 Storm with 105 seconds left. The Storm has never won a Clark Cup, but is 145 away with a 3-goal lead. Brandon Duhaime, the left red line shot. There's even some tears from the fans below us. Duhaime knocked it down in front of the Storm bench. Tri-City must maintain composure. The entire team went over to the bench to hug. Puck drops, Storm right to left. A 4-1 edge. Allison gets knee checked. Remains on his feet. Backhanded to the point in the Saints' end. Miska has to seed the net again if he can. 90 seconds left. Duhaime's first goal of the series. Right to left. Solo, he dekes right. The Saints forward into the Storm end. Miska remains in the cage. 5-on-5 shot. Blocked by Kiley out of the way. So 5-on-5, Miska not pulled. Storm leads by 3. There's 1:10 left, and this is a sold-out game in the Vieiro Center. It is 9:34 p.m. Humitz has it at center ice for the Storm. 1 minute left. Storm leads by 3. The roof is about ready to come off, and it's aluminum. No icing on the Storm. In the right corner, half wall, slot shot wide left of Miska from Humitz. Max Humitz Storm forward, another shot blocked with one hand. 40 seconds left. Storm by 3. The sweep. Some fans have brought brooms, and it's nearly upon us. A glove stop by Kiley on a far-range shot. 31 shots for the Saints. Kiley has stopped 30. A non-traditional hockey market when it entered the league, Central Nebraska. You wouldn't know it by this crowd. Owner Kirk Brooks has owned this team for 7 years. Purchased it in 2009 with the hopes of winning, bringing a championship to what had become a hockey hotbed. He's turned this organization around. Bill McColt, the Storm head coach, has his arms crossed like he has for the 11 playoff games. A tied-up face-off, 25 seconds left and in the Storm end. Behind the net, Saints wrap it, net front, stolen by the Storm. Maintain 5-on-5, there's 17 seconds left. 15, Wallen enters the zone. He dekes left and shoots, saved by Miska. 10 seconds, 9 seconds, and 8. 4-1 Storm leads, and for the first time, the Tri-City Storm has won the Clark Cup! Jake Kiley, the Storm goalie, makes 30 saves on 31 shots. Has there been a better moment in Tri-City history? No, sir. The gloves go flying, the sticks go flying, and in the left corner, everyone meets Kiley. Can you believe it? A team that was under 500 through about the first 20 games, the turnaround. Won first place in the Western Conference, and tonight secures a 4-1 win. They're still jumping, there's still disbelief. There's a lot of hugs. Jake Kiley nearly in tears on the ice, hugging Bill McColt. In McColt's first season, he delivers the Clark Cup. There's a lot of sticks and a lot of gloves. Nearly everyone has their phones out. 4-1 in Game 3. They're all hugging in front of Kiley's crease. There's the presentation of the trophy to come up. This team's played hockey for 16 years, the Storm, and it sweeps the Clark Cup final in 3 games. On the other side, the Dubuque players watching the Storm celebrate. The dejection apparent, but the Storm controlled this series and controlled this postseason, winning the necessary 9. Swept 2 of the series, 1 went 5. When it beat Waterloo in 5 games 2 weeks ago, you felt like that was the challenge the Storm needed to overcome, and it won it on home ice. There's hats, there's t-shirts being handed out. There's "We Are the Champions" playing. The Storm did it. Five and 1 at home in the postseason. The fans all standing. There are tears in the audience. Right below us, we see a few fans with hands over their face. Jake Kiley, the Storm goalie, hugs Carver Watson, a defenseman that meant so much for the Storm down the stretch, especially in practice. Watson, he was scratched tonight. Kiley with the 30 for 31 effort. We have to tell you the history of this. Finishes the playoffs with a 1.6 goals against and a .950 save percentage. In the Tier 1 history of the USHL, no one had a better save percentage, officially at .949, than Jake Kiley. And there's a handshake line at center ice. Willie Neerum, the forward for the Fighting Saints, is too distraught to even stand up. They're presenting the carpet on the ice. We will have a live interview we're expecting with head coach Bill McColt and also Tori Dello on the ice. During the postseason, Dan Lebowski, perhaps no brighter star, especially in this game. 3 assists for Lebowski. 9 points in the series. That final goal, an empty netter unassisted by Duhay Maistit with 1:40 left. Sue Cease leads the handshake line for Dubuque. The Ice Kids are picking up the sticks and also the skates. Hunter Miska allowed 3 goals in each one of the games on the Dubuque side. The Storm won. Game 1, 5-1. It won game 2, 4-2. It won game 3, 4-1. If you're listening from wherever, tweet at the Tri-City Storm. The 2016 Clark Cup champions. Let's take a break and come back next on The Breeze 94.5.
Stadler Implement in Minden carries a full line of Kubota tractors and mowers. Over the years, Kubota has been committed to providing durable and reliable machinery to farmers, construction workers, and everyday people. From B-Series tractors to premium lawn tractors, Stadler carries them. Providing quality doesn't have to be expensive, thanks to Kubota and Stadler Implement. Located on East Highway 6 in Minden. Go see Carl and the gang. You'll be satisfied with the service you get.
Financing a new or pre-owned vehicle can raise so many questions to be answered and decisions to be made. How big of a down payment do I need? Or do I need one at all? What interest rate will I qualify for? Or will I qualify? Midway Auto Dealership's finance team can help guide you through all of these decisions and more. Whether you have perfect, average, or poor credit, Midway will use their buying power to find you the perfect finance program in a professional, confidential, and fast manner. Visit Midway online at www.thinkmidway.com today.
Farmers and commercial applicants, if you're looking to reduce some expenses but need to add a sprayer to your operation, let Select Sprayers help by leasing you a late model Miller New Holland large self-propelled sprayer for just a little under $30,000 for the season with the option to purchase. Do the math. This is a very economical way to add a sprayer to your operation. Stop in now to Select Sprayers, East Highway 30 Kearney, or call them at 308-338-8006. to reserve your sprayer at Select Sprayers.
Sports on the ice, the hardwood, the gridiron, or in your backyard, the Conestoga Mall has everything for that athlete in your family. You'll find stores from A to almost Z, featuring clothing, jewelry, food, automotive, houseware, hobbies, cards, gifts, movies, and more. You might say it's the hat trick of shopping, where you'll score in every store. Conestoga Mall, Highway 281 and 13th Street, Grand Island, and online at shopconestogamall.com.
This is Tri-City Storm Hockey on the Storm Radio Network. Now back to the booth to recap this one. The voice of your Tri-City Storm, David Fine.
Well, 4-1 the final in Game 3. The Tri-City Storm has captured its first Clark Cup. Pictures taken on the ice. We have the MVP trophy being escorted out on the ice as well. The Clark Cup to follow, and we're going to bring you the presentation here on the Breeze 94.5 from USHL Commissioner Bob Fallon. Adam Micheletti carries the Clark Cup on the ice. So it's on the ice for the first time ever in Kearney, and it's ready to be presented in just a minute here. There'll be the MVP trophy presentation. We expect it to go to Wade Allison. Micheletti carrying the puck on the ice, the cup on the ice. The Senior Director of Hockey Operations joined the USHL in 2013, and this is his first year carrying that role as Director of Hockey Ops. The music is starting to fade away here. And Bob Fallon is going over to make the announcement. This is the Commissioner of the USHL in his second year.
Hello, Tri-City.
Well, the music keeps on cutting in on him, but he's saying hi, and then the music plays.
On behalf of the United States Hockey League, I want to thank all of you tonight for really putting on an unbelievable show. One of the largest crowds in the history of the Viaro Center, so give yourself a hand. Also wanted to thank those watching in high definition on Fast Hockey, our largest audience ever for an online feed. Thank you, guys.
There's really only jubilation here as Commissioner Fallon continues the
Out of the status of our league, as many of you know, there wasn't a junior hockey league in the world that had more National Hockey League draft picks. We're also very proud of the fact that 96% of the young men you see in uniform on this ice will have Division I opportunities after their career in the USHL. We have a tagline that was developed by our marketing crew called Who's Next? So who's the next guy out of this crowd who's going to be the next Jaden Schwartz?
Schwartz, of course, a former Storm player.
All right. First of all, before we get into some of the awards, I want to, again, a round of applause for the Dubuque Fighting Saints. Under direction of first-year head coach Jason Lammers, Dubuque has made the playoffs 6 years in a row in the Clark Cup final 3 times in their 6 years of existence. All right, again, a lot of great players in this league, but I've been watching this league for a long time, and I don't think I've seen a playoff performance equal to that of our playoff MVP, number 19, Wade Allison.
Allison expected to be a top NHL draft pick. He goes, his hat on backwards, shakes the commissioner's hand, and is presented the final trophy for most valuable player of the 2016 Clark Cup playoffs. Allison in this series had 5 goals. 1 tonight.
Yeah, Wade, you can take it because you earned it. So I ask you guys, who wants the cup? Before we hand it out, guys, I'd like to acknowledge the efforts of the Tri-City organization under the ownership of Kirk Brooks. Kirk, take a bow, brother. There he is.
Kirk, the 7-year owner for the Storm, with his first Clark Cup. Bob Fallon actually looked up to Kirk's suite and found him on the ice. He's celebrating with the boys. He's got a Tri-City Storm hat on. The excitement for Brooks. He comes over to shake Fallon's hand. Again, the Clark Cup final celebration going on.
How about a few quick words for your audience here at Viero?
Well, I'm not really full of quick words. So anyway, if I started thanking people, you know, from my parents and siblings and everybody involved, coaches, Steve Lowe, what a team he put together. You got to give Steve Lowe a great hand.
President of Hockey Operations, Steve Lowe. Again, my name's David Fine. The Storm captures
all in
the
all,
Clark
I
Cup
want to
tonight.
tell you guys, when I was here last Tuesday or the Tuesday before, I was so proud of Kearney. A Tuesday night, and we drew about 2,200 fans to come out and support. So I'm going to award the MVP to the fans of Kearney. They've waited a long time.
Clark Cup champions, the Tri-City Storm, for the first time.
They have waited a long time, and I think it's time for the captains to come up and get the cup, boys.
Torey Dello comes up to Commissioner Bob Fallon just at the red line in front of the penalty box, shakes his hand. The Clark Cup, he gets a few pictures with it next to Fallon. He takes it. He holds it. And he raises it above his head. He's mobbed. The team comes over and he shares it with the whole group. We say this Clark Cup, named after Don Clark, the longtime registrar of Minnesota high school hockey, that this Clark Cup has been awarded every year since 1979-80, we know that part, and that it weighs 50 pounds. Hands it to Dan Lebowski, the assistant captain. Dan weighs about 175, and he holds the 50-pounder above his head. He led the playoffs, Lebowski, and set a Storm record in not only assists, the 3-assist night for Dan reminiscent, 14 assists, and he has finished with 19 points in the playoffs. Next, it's to Max Humitz, who wins his first cup in his 4th and final season in the USHL. Former Lincoln star Humitz comes right about at the red line, goes to the logo, exchanges it to Wade Allison, the MVP. He kisses it. That's what you're supposed to do in these situations. Another handoff. More hugging. A lot of pictures being taken. The second handoff again. Let's see who it went to. Carson Meyer, and now it's to Brandon Duhaime. Duhaime kisses the cup. His first year, he scored the empty net goal. The players that have touched it wait around, and then there's those that haven't yet. Assistant captain Jake Wallen gets it. Strokes it over his head, carrying that Clark Cup. What a job for the Storm. 9-2 in the postseason. A 4-1 win to sweep the Clark Cup final tonight over the Dubuque Fighting Saints. The first time Dubuque has ever lost a final since it came back to the USHL. Perhaps no bigger cheer than for Jake Kiley, the Storm goalie. Cup above his head, set a USHL Tier 1 record, a .950 save percentage for Kiley in the postseason. Walker Dorr is the next. Dorr played with the Sioux City Musketeers next year. He skates around the blue line. We're waiting head coach Bill McColt to hop on the Viera Wireless the Old Chicago postgame show. Remember, Storm fans, Old Chicago is the place where Storm fans go in before and after the games. Best selection of food for the whole family and the best place to hang out with other fans. Old Chicago, you can eat, you can drink, and you can be yourself. Let's listen to the crowd for a second. Clark Cup handed out to Nico Sturm, the Storm forward. A 4-1 victory tonight for the Storm. Next, it's to another scratch. Looks like Jason Critch in his second year with the Storm. Joe Cipollone gives a kiss to that Clark Cup, and their names are going on this Clark Cup. Bill McColt just watches. Has everyone on the team touched it? McColt's not yet held the Clark Cup, but we heard he's been doing some biceps and triceps to make sure he can hold it. Wade Allison hugs Bill McColt. At one point in the season, about quarter of the way through, Allison did not have 2 goals. He then exploded in the second half. He added a total of 2 points tonight. And for Allison, 9 points in the round in 3 games. Goal and an assist tonight, finishing the playoffs as the most valuable player. 10 points, 9 goals leading all players, and 7 assists for 16 points for Allison. Alex Limoges, the X factor of that line with Allison, gets the cup. At the blue line, Allison's normally a reserve fellow, so he only gives it 1 kiss. This is the Clark Cup final skate around with the puck. If you're still listening on the Breeze 94.5, we'll have head coach Bill McColt coming up shortly here on the Old Chicago postgame show. Ben Gordon, Storm assistant coach, has not yet touched it. Holds his young son, Mac, in his arms. Gordon won one of the Clark Cups in his playing days in 2003. Dan Bushka, the equipment manager, gets it. Oh, the team loves it. Bush is his nickname, and he's so much a part of the experience. Bill McColt gets the cup. The picture is taken. McColt in his first season, he joins notable coaches like Jim Montgomery, now the head coach at the University of Denver. He also joins, along with that, the current head coach, Jeff Blashill of the Detroit Red Wings. Taylor Nelson handed the cup, and for the second time, Ben Gordon gets to hold the cup above his head. He won it in 03 with the Stars. He kisses the cup for probably the second time in his life, first time in 03. The wives are out on the ice. Well, one wife, Barry Bender, is Bill McColt's spouse. She's out ready to find Bill. They hug. Imagine the stress of being a coach's wife. The picture about ready to be taken. So all the players gather around the Storm logo at center ice. They sit with the cup in the middle of them. If you've never seen a moment like this, it's special. These players, 25 of them, 1 equipment manager, 1 athletic trainer, 1 owner, Kirk Brooks, hops in the picture. Assistant coaches Taylor Nelson and Ben Gordon, and 1 child, Mac, in the picture. That is Ben Gordon's young son. The picture's taken. The fists raised. The Clark Cup won tonight.